Crashes has revealed some startling statistics about where and why we're likely to die in a road accident. In the U.S., the thing most likely to kill you is a tree. 19-year-old Chris Morris of Glen Burnie, Maryland, almost became a statistic himself when his Mustang hit a tree at this spot early one morning in a spectacular crash that left more questions than it answered.
It's just one of those bad days. Should have stayed in bed.
Senior crash detective Doug Davies has been called in. After highlighting the few telltale clues, he can piece together a version of the crash that uncannily matches the driver's account.
Because of the lack of residual scene evidence, it would have to be estimated that the young man lost control of the vehicle just before the break in the double yellow line.
From the time I lost traction to the time I hit the tree couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 seconds. I didn't really have time to think.
Lose control, and yaw left. Yawing left, he comes straight.
I knew whatever I was going to do wasn't going to stop it from what was going to happen was going to happen.
Overcorrects. The car begins a right side leading slide.
I pretty much just let go of everything and let it flow after I lost control.
Comes across the driveway, left wheel and the right wheel, and the front of his front door impacts the tree.
Just before I hit the tree, I blacked out. That was the last thing I remember, and I woke up in the trunk.
But the tree caused him to become airborne. His front facing this way, he rotated counterclockwise in the air. And the vehicle landed. At this point,
I woke up in the trunk and sat there for what seemed to me about a half hour. It's probably actually 5 to 10 minutes at the most. I didn't hurt anybody or anything. I had no idea where I was. So I crawled out of the car. As I crawled out of the car, I could see the woman that had called the ambulance. And she looked like she had seen a ghost, or couldn't believe she had seen me crawling out of the car.
On the inside of the car, as the car hit the tree and this side intruded, the front seat has been folded more than in half. The brake and the clutch pedal and the accelerator are hidden behind this. Quite fortunate that he didn't have his feet entrapped, or that this didn't roll over on his feet and break bones or amputate. It would appear that he was projected to the right and rearward, and his head would have been somewhere possibly in this area. We have a blood mark right here. There's a small blood mark right here.
Only thing that was going through my mind was I was happy to be alive.
It would appear from the inspection of the seatbelt that he was not wearing his seatbelt at the time of the crash. When a person wears a seatbelt, we find scratches where the seatbelt is going into the latch plate. This, I would say, it probably hasn't been buckled more than 10 or 20 times in its life.
I don't know why I didn't wear my seatbelt. I just woke up, didn't even get a shower. I was in my car 5 minutes after I woke up.
We also look for melting. When it tightens up, it runs very quickly past this plastic. We find melted pieces at the edge. This belt was not worn during the crash.
The detective believes Chris Morris was traveling north when the crash occurred, almost inexplicably.
You know, there's really no reason for this kid to have lost control of this car. There's no defects in the road. It would appear to me that he might have been downshifting. Behind us is a double curve and a hill. And the young man lives in this neighborhood. He knows the road, and it would seem that he probably was slowing down or preparing to come through this curve and through lack of experience, he just lost control of the car as he downshifted. Very bad mistake. Lack of experience.
Chris Morris agrees he was shifting gears when he lost control, but that's where their accounts differ. He says he was leaving his parents' home early in the morning to go to work. So according to him, he was traveling south.
Okay, I was coming over the hill right here. Just before the 3 mailboxes, I started shifting from 3rd to 4th. If the RPMs get up there, it'll spin the wheels and cause you to break traction. That's what I was trying to avoid, but it happened anyway.
He was traveling north. There's no way he could hit the tree with the right side of his car by going south. Had he been going south, he would have gone off the other side of the road and he would not have hit a tree.
2 people, 2 accounts, 2 conclusions. In the science of crash investigation, the unpredictable element is the human factor.
I was pretty heartbroken to lose the car. I'll work on getting another one, though.